Welcome to one of the biggest motivational stories. This is a story of Steve Jobs, who was the founder of Apple Incorporation, which makes Apple phones, MacBooks, which is famous all over the world. He was also the co-founder of Pixar and NeXT, another two major IT companies. Welcome back, friends. Welcome to one more episode on purpose of life. In this episode, I'll focus on one more important aspect of life, that is motivation. Everyone in life, to achieve something, motivation is required. Many of us are self-motivated, but some people require some sort of motivation in life. In this video, I'll give one of the best motivational stories, a story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is the co-founder of Apple Incorporation, which makes iPhones and MacBooks. Steve Jobs also was the co-founder of Pixar, NeXT, was also a member of Walt Disney Company. We all know about Steve Jobs, we all know about Apple Incorporation, we all know about iPhones, MacBooks, but we don't know the struggles behind all these stories. In this video, I will tell you about the struggles and the motivation that Steve Jobs is an example for. Struggle for Steve Jobs began before he was born. His biological mother put the baby when the baby was still in the womb itself for adoption. And Steve Jobs, soon after his birth, was adopted by a couple by name Clara and Paul Jobs. Steve was named Stephen Paul Jobs by his parents. But Stephen was not told about his adoption. He did not know about his biological parents till he was 27. He was born to the parents who could not take care of the child, and he was adopted by parents who could not provide him proper education. Stephen had no place to sleep. Stephen had no food to eat. Stephen had no money to go to college. He had very difficult times in his childhood, in his youth. With all these difficulties, Steve joined Reed College in 1972, but he dropped out in the same year because he could not pay the fee. He later did lot of other activities, like he joined for calligraphy classes, and his calligraphy knowledge is what is responsible for beautiful typography in iPhones and in Apple Incorporation devices. Steve's poverty was such that he had no proper place to sleep. He used to sleep on the floor of his friends' rooms. He used to collect empty Coke bottles and sell them for 5 cents, and with that money he used to buy some food. And he used to walk for 7 miles across the town to get one good meal every week. In Hare Krishna temple in San Francisco, they were giving free food once in a week. So Steve used to walk for 7 miles to go to Hare Krishna temple to get one meal per week. And the rest of the week he used to manage his food by selling the empty Coke bottles. That was the difficulty. That was the struggle that actually Steve underwent during his youth. The only good thing that happened to Steve was he was living and he was growing up in San Francisco Bay Area, where the IT activities were very much happening. In fact, it was very close to Silicon Valley, in which the IT related activities were going on. He was inspired by these activities. The other good thing that happened to Steve was he met a friend by name Woz. Steve and Woz developed Apple Incorporation. and they developed the company Apple Incorporation. They struggled, they worked very, very hard, and it took about 10 years for building Apple Incorporation. Within 10 years, Steve and Woz built Apple Incorporation company from zero to $2 billion company. And there was one more problem that was waiting for Steve. Steve was thrown out of his company. Steve was thrown out from the company that he built himself. Again, Steve was devastated. Everything was lost, and Steve was again jobless. Steve was again started struggling. Each time Steve was in trouble, he motivated himself. He gained confidence in himself, and he bounced back in a big way. And this time also same thing happened. Steve, after being thrown out of Apple Incorporation, built two more companies, Pixar and NeXT. Pixar is the company that created the first computer animated movie by name Toy Story. And after these achievements, Apple company again invited Steve to join back the company. And Steve again became a part of Apple Incorporation. And we know the rest of the story. Steve left us all in 2011, succumbed to cancer. Steve is immortal. His story is immortal. His inspiration is everlasting. His motivation is one of the best. His story is one of the best motivational stories ever told. Thank you very much for watching. Everyone needs motivation, and I hope this will motivate you. They say if this does not motivate you, nothing can. We'll meet again in the next video with some other topic. Thank you very much.